This is the Lotus Eletre R. It's a 900 horsepower SUV with 2.95 0 to 60 time, with over 300 miles of range. I was invited by Lotus to give it a test drive for around 2 hours. So let me set some expectations because that is very important. I'm not a car guy, I'm a tech guy, but I've had experience driving a ton of different EVs out there. I personally own a Tesla Model Y Performance, but I'm not a Tesla fanboy by any means, no matter what the hoodie tells you. All opinions are my own and based off my impressions with the car during that time. Now, I've heard of Lotus before, but I've never experienced a Lotus vehicle. Lotus are typically track cars, so seeing an SUV and something designed more consumer focused was pretty exciting for me. You could definitely tell that it has the track DNA. Every element was designed for aerodynamics and performance. There's carbon fiber all over this SUV to keep things as light as possible. But it's still a pretty heavy vehicle as most EVs are. These are 23-inch wheels with black lightweight brake discs with 6 piston calipers. There's a spoiler on the back that pops up at speed, but drops back down when it's no longer needed. So this car is dual motor, it's all-wheel drive, and it has 4 doors. It also has the back hatch that you can just pull up, just like a normal SUV. Interior-wise, this definitely feels premium. And it also looks modern with tons of different screens and lights all over the place. I mean, as someone who drives a Tesla, when I see better interiors, I get very jealous. There's a large screen in the dash and infotainment system, and the passenger has their own screen too. The dash on the screen gives you the info you expect from speed, assistive driving, and expected battery life. The middle screen gives you control over the vehicle like doors, spoilers, and also driving settings like active suspension. The passenger has its own screen, however, it's very limited on what you can do. The only thing you can do with the passenger screen is adjust the music, and I don't want my passengers touching my music, but you can also turn that off as the driver as well. Now, hopefully with this software update, you can do something a little bit different, but as of right now, that's pretty much it. There are accent lights all around the vehicle, and those colors can be changed and adjusted within the software. There are physical buttons too to access things like the volume and also the HVAC controls. It even has an intelligent glass roof that you can adjust the tint to let more or less light in, or you can set it to auto where it automatically dims. Now, once I got behind the wheel, I'm not gonna lie, this is the most fun I've had driving a SUV EV. It's nimble and it moves like a real sports car. Now, as an EV driver, I had it on one pedal driving, but if you choose to drive with both pedals, it will feel like a very fast ICE vehicle. Obviously, you do have the regenerative braking that you can turn off and on, but there's also a regen paddle that you can pull back to activate regen. For me, it's something I wouldn't use, but the guy who was with me who doesn't drive an EV, he enjoyed having that option to turn it off and on whenever he wanted it. It does have standard charging, and it's not the Tesla charging that many cars will eventually move to, but it does charge at 350 watts, so you can get fast charging if you can find a charger that's fast. Now for me, I only had a few hours with this vehicle and I wish I could have given more impressions, but let me tell you, this thing was a blast to drive. Although we don't have pricing, when I spoke to my Lotus rep, they did mention somewhere in the 100 to 150,000 ballpark range. And of course that depends on specs and depends on all those different things and how that shakes out. So it's not gonna be something that would be in my price range, but as far as like, if you're in that price range or just appreciate very fast and very nice vehicles, this is one to definitely keep an eye out for. Oh, I forgot to mention the paint job. I have a hard time explaining it. It was like pink and gray depending on which angle you looked at it. And a lot of people are looking at the vehicle because it is definitely really cool to see coming down the road. Anyways, those are my thoughts with the SUV for 2 hours. According to Lotus, this car will be coming out in 2023, but according to my watch, looks like there's only a month left, so I don't think that's happening. So sometime 2024, this car would definitely be coming stateside. But right now, there's not finalized pricing or any of those things that is required. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. I wanna know, what do you think? Make sure you sound off down below.